Hey guys, Frozen X is here, and this is my third build I'm recording today, and you may be wondering, how the hell did you get enough information to make all these 3 builds in one day? Well, I've been playing this game for the last 8 hours today, just pretty much testing out different combinations of stuff, different weapons, blah blah blah, and I feel that I can finally do this. My support build is probably the worst one of that, because I did terrible as playing as that, because I don't like the support build, I don't have a lot of electronics gear, it's just not for me. But I will say throughout the day the most fun I had was playing as a tank, especially in challenge modes, because it just, I don't know, it felt so cool taking on like a bunch of enemies and really not taking too much damage, especially in challenge mode. So let's start off with our inventory. I go with an SMG and assault rifle. You may say SMG and shotgun is better. Again, it's more of a personal opinion. I'm just going to quickly talk about mods because for this, you definitely need increased accuracy and headshot damage. The reload speed is great, but I went with the magazine size. The accuracy, this is just all for accuracy, and this is also for accuracy with the critical hit chance. As a tank, you're not really focusing too much on damage. You just need to be able to hit the target enough to get their aggro. Do not use a suppressor because that'll give you what's called a reduced threat. I don't even think I have a suppressor. Yeah, I don't have a suppressor. That will give you what's called reduced threat, and that'll make it so enemies attack your teammates other than you. For this build, you can go with stamina and firearms. I wouldn't really focus too much on electronics because both your abilities will stay down and recharge at the same time. Like, well, actually, I don't know if this will, but yeah, the shield will start recharging once you pull it out. I believe I may be wrong on that. Sorry if I am. I think I am, but I wasn't paying too much attention to it. The gear I have. See, this is where a lot of you might disagree with me. I did this with a very, very firearms heavy build because my theory was I'm going to deal a lot of damage when I peek my head, but then I'm going to get back behind cover and just try and keep their aggro on me, and I'm not going to need too much health because because one, you'll be using the shield that increases your health or heals you while moving, plus you have your 5 med kits. And then on top of that, you have this thing, which is just cover you can put down anywhere, and I'll talk about how incredible that is and how much damage it can actually take. Sorry, that's the wrong button. There we go, inventory. If you want to go half stamina, half firearms, you can do that. I'm sure that will work just as well as my build did, but the way I play, I like dealing a lot of damage, so I build really heavy into firearms, and that's just that's just the way I am. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into skills. First off, you want to be using the healing shield. You need something that will be able to heal you. I chose the shield because it'll let you move up closer to targets. Because generally they do target whoever's closest to them. So if your teammates stay behind and let you move up, they'll most likely target on you, allowing your teammates just to shoot at them and not have to worry about peeking, ducking, and all that, because in challenge mode you can really get shot in two or die in 2 hits. So if each person just takes turns peeking, you can really like start to lose a lot of time because you might go down, have to revive that guy, or you could just have one guy that everyone's shooting at and then he's staying down, peeking his head every so often just enough to take aggro, and then everyone else can work on filing down the enemies. After you've moved up, though, you're probably not going to be in the best position of cover or going to need better cover than what you have, and that's why I went with mobile cover. The extension, I didn't really go with the extension for the 2-person reason. This does help if they throw a grenade at you, because sometimes they won't get the entire shield and the grenade radius, so you might just be able to move to the other side of the shield and not get hit by the grenade. The reason I did this is because look at how much more health it gives it. This cover provides more protection and stance. Even if you go with this, like, really, that it has like only 200,000 HP. I deal about 100,000 damage per second. So, if you calculate that in the dark zone, it's theoretically 2 seconds to break the cover, but we know that's not how the damage actually works. So it'd probably be more like 3 or 4 seconds. But that's not good. 560,000 HP, yeah, that's awesome, and that will only go up further as if you have a higher electronics, but I don't know, I don't really build electronics. For T, I went with the damage reduction because if your shield runs out and this is still on recharge and you're in a really shitty spot at the time, just hit your T, get behind good cover, and then, gather your thoughts and get back into the fight. This is more like more or less the save your ass thing. You could go with the tactical link because that'll allow you to do more damage, and that will also allow you to pull aggro easier. But this makes everyone on your team do more damage. So if you have another DPS on your team who deals more damage as you and you pop this, he might actually start pulling aggro. But let's face it, that's not a big deal in this game. Your teammates are still going to get shot at even if you have a tank just a little less. So really, it's your choice, whichever you think is better, Tactical Link or Survivor Link. I had more fun playing with Survivor Link because I found that, this gave me that 8% resistance and movement speed. This saved my ass more times than I could count. But before I go into talents, I want to talk about something about the mobile cover. I found that sometimes, I don't know why, sometimes I can control over it, other times I can't. Like right now on top of this ambulance, I can't control over it. What I found is that if you just, hold on, let me get rid of the shield. If you just go up to it, you can roll right through it. So if you put your cover in a spot that's kind of blocking you, or you need to get through it real quickly, just go up to it and just spam spacebar. Sometimes that might not work. And yeah, you can't be like, don't be like in cover though, because then you'll just do that. What you need to do is back off from it, and like, while he's trying to get or move forward to take cover, it'll dive you through it. So yeah, that's just a little trick that might help you guys out. Alright, now let's get back into the skills. First off, or not skills, talents. First off, we are going to go with critical save. This should be pretty self-explanatory. It's in every build. It will continue to be in every build. Damage resistance by 40% for 10 seconds when using a medkit at low health. Again, my theory is you really only use medkits when you are at low health, therefore you're most likely going to need this anyway. For the second thing, I use adrenaline. Use the medkit when not at full health to receive an overheal. You are a tank, so you want to have very full health, especially if you're going to go up against the boss. Go ahead, hit your medkit, and then pull out your shield, and you can start moving up really close to the boss, and that'll probably buy your team 10-15 seconds to shoot at a boss without being interrupted at all by having to take cover. Complete a covered cover move to increase weapon damage by 2% per meter covered for 10 seconds. This will help you because you need to be dealing more damage to be taking the threat away from your enemies. So if you're dealing more damage, they'll target you easier, and the whole point of a tank build is to get them to target you and only you. Obviously, with that being said, or like I said earlier, you're never going to be able to get every enemy to only shoot at you. Your team are still going to get shot at, but this will help them, especially in boss battles, is when it really helps to have a tank. Anywhere else, it's just everyone just shoot and get the stupid idiots killed. And then for the last one, evasive action during covered cover move, damage is reduced by 30%. Part of being a tank is also being able to take damage and not die, so the reduced damage by 30% will really help you out a lot. That combined with the critical save, if you use a med kit, get out of your shitty cover, you now have, again, I talked about this before, you have a 40% damage resistance, and then you have another 30%, but you don't have a 70% damage resistance there. What happens is you're now at 60%, you're taking 60% damage here, and then once you have this, you're taking whatever 30% of 60% is. The statistics. You don't add these two numbers together. That's kind of a I've had several people try and tell me that's how it works, like not on YouTube but in the game, and I had to explain to them that's not, because once you use this once you have a damage resistance of 40%, that 60% of damage then becomes 100% damage, and therefore then you're only taking 30% of 60% of damage. Yeah, I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you kind of like wrap your mind around it, it will kind of help you out quite a bit. And as always, perks are static. Nothing I could say about that. If there's anything you disagreed with my build, oh, that's the one thing I did forget to cover. Sorry, I almost ended it too early. For the mods, obviously you can go into another one of the vendors and you can buy the stamina mods. And you can buy as many as you want from the mod vendor. I don't know if it's a glitch or a bug, but you can buy 3 of the same mod from the vendor and you won't run out of it. You can keep buying. You can buy 50 of them if you want and you won't run out of it. I'm not standing in the base of operations right now. If you want to see how that works, like just go to a mod vendor, buy a mod, and then you can keep buying it. I don't think I really have to explain that any further. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. If there's anything you would like to or think I should change or disagree with, let me know in the comments, and peace out.